Okay, it should be fine now. Let me know. Okay, still no sound or you're able to hear me? Uh, I see. So, okay. Uh, okay, let's see. Okay, I'm just doing one more stuff. I'm just doing stuff. I'm just and just need to disable my my give me a second. Uh, so what I was trying to do today is last time I had some issue like while doing this email. So it was due to the internet connection. Okay, so let's what is this? Okay, should be better now. Let me know. Uh, Okay. Hey, learner, 04118. I'm just trying to figure out my setting right now because I just changed my system. So what's wrong here? Come on, don't do this. Yeah, Anit, external microphone. Why? It's not getting used. Now it's working. Okay, perfect. So yeah, so as I said, like last time there was some streaming issue, like while sharing my screen. So what I'm trying to do is I'm connecting from another laptop and sharing screen from another laptop so it doesn't cause this internet fluctuation or the issue. So that's the whole thing. So yeah, it's complicated, with limited internet here, like it's not that fast in Germany. So I have to do this weird setup sometime and figure out like what's working and what's not. And yeah, Anit also recommended this idea. So we should try this once. Yes, Anit, I'm doing the same. So yeah, so I'm just streaming from my laptop actually, and then sharing my screen from my Windows machine. So you can see there are two users who are connected. That's because, yeah, this weird setup. And yeah, let's go. Let's go ahead and see. Thank you, Ambaniji, for your internet. Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah. I think it's very cheap. The internet is very cheap in India. No, that's not the case here. So, okay, where is my mouse? Come on. Come on. So with this setup, I'm getting an issue now. So it's disconnecting and connecting, which is weird. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So what we did last time is we did this Angular 20 stream. I hope you were able to join it. And then me and Anit went live and we talked about what's new in Angular 20. And we are also writing a blog post. So me and Anit both are working on it. And once it is ready, we'll be publishing it soon. Maybe we'll try to do it, wrap it up by next week. So, and I was traveling, so I just went to Frankfurt to meet one of my friend, and I'm back now. So I thought like let's do this 2 day stream at least, and then I can go back and enjoy weekend. Like we all watch out for the weekends, right? So let's go ahead and get started. So what I want to do today is continue working on the new app which we created for devswhorun. So let's see. I think I still have it somewhere, or I don't. I remember uh, having I like cloned it earlier. So let's close this and start a new instance of VS Code. I don't know why it's taking so much time to just start VS Code. Have it here. So this is not the new tab. So uh, let me clone this again. So yes. I think I had that code in on another laptop. So let me just clone it again so I can start working on it. Your repositories. For this new project, we are actually going to use Appwrite because we need some backend. So we will be using Appwrite. It's amazing. Like I've used it before, and you can start building for free. Actually, you don't need to pay anything, and it comes with database and yeah. You also have auth available, so you can integrate GitHub authentication or your own authentication, whatever you want to do. Let's clone this repository. So this is the one which we created, which we have created for devs who run, and we published, or this is already live. This is an Angular website. Actually, we migrated from the previous one to Angular now, and we have few links still there. So you can join Discord, you can contribute, and this is just static right now. So there is nothing which is like working right now here. Gemini API, where so- sorry, where you Garmin API, yeah. I still have that. I mean, Garmin API is to get my Garmin data because I have this Garmin watch, and I actually ported that from Python to Fast API for my own purpose, and then never used it. It still works. I can get the data and everything works. Let's see. But yeah, I can just see cloud version of app, right? So this is something which you can use for free. And I think this is available for one project right now for free. So I don't have to pay. Yeah, and this project is still active. I can upgrade, and let's see, billing pre-plan. Nice. Let's see if I can create a new project, and I can call it as name is so- and Frankfurt. They have a region in Germany. That's nice. Connect to your platform, so I can use web, native, React Native, Apple, Android, whatever I like. So I'll go with web, and I'm going to use Angular. Host name is optional. Okay, let's create the platform. So, oh, this is new. So they have starter for Angular. They have yeah, the environment.ts where I can add this. Okay, cool. Go to dashboard. I won't be using the SDK, so I won't be using SDK for my project. So I'll be using mostly APIs. So they have nice APIs which are available. You can actually just see Garmin Vivo Move. Okay, is that the new watch? Or I mean, I use Venu 3. So Appwrite box. Yeah. So this is the REST API. I can access all the APIs. Server integration. What is that? Email and password login. Yeah. So I think this is where I can access all ways. This is not the API. Okay, yeah, this references account API, user API. So if I want to make an API call, I can still go ahead and do that by using this region, which I can add in my configuration, and then I can access all the data if I want to. So I want databases actually because I'll be creating few records. So let's see. So the base URL is this, and then this is the endpoint, and I can pass. Okay, so I remember like last time when I used it, so I had to be authenticated so I can make these API calls, but I can actually test it from my local maybe API client. But yeah, this is the plan actually, just to use Appwrite API for everything for this new project which we are doing. Let's go ahead and clone this, and I can use SSH. This is actually a new Angular project with NX Monorepo. I'm not sure if you are aware of NX Monorepo, but this is another build tool which I use often. So I create this projects actually last time. This created offline, so it's not something which I did on my stream. But I created I think I created this on stream, and then I ended up fixing all the build issues and everything. So there is a front end app which is right now should be Angular 19, and it uses RS Pack, which is improve Copilot agent with an X context. Nice. Okay, so it uses RS Pack, which is a different build system, which is not directly supported by Angular. So NX team added the support on top of Angular's actually. So if you create a new Angular project, you won't be getting RS Pack. But yeah, we made some changes to this, and let's see if the install is working fine. And I can just go ahead and run this project and see it working locally, absolutely fine once install is done. So we have few components here about like everything which you can see on devswhorun or devswhorun website. So we have testimonial 0. We just added this all. This all is actually static content, and then there is a home component which just renders everything, all the static data and everything. And there is to toggle between dark mode and light mode. So it uses signal. So you can see dark mode is actually a signal, and then we are listening uh, if someone updates the dark mode, right? So we are just using effect to do this. If we remember, we explored effect and some of the use cases. I think this is a very nice use case which Sashi, who is working with me on this project, added. So we can listen to this change whenever something happens, someone moves from dark mode to light mode, and effect captures it and then updates the class. So if it's dark mode, it goes to uh, I think this is a bug, right? So it shouldn't be. No, okay. So it adds dark mode and removes dark mode. Otherwise, by default, it's white. It's light theme. Nice. So let's go ahead and add some components here. And generally, the way I do it whenever I have an X project is I try to split the entire code into different libraries, because one of the advantage of having NX in your toolchain is caching. So if I build different libraries, smaller libraries, I can actually build them separately, and I can just build the affected code. So that's what I get from the NX. So let's go ahead and create a new branch from here. And I'll say, okay, this is, and this is feature. So what I want to do is I'll start with some static data and some forms to add a new event. So let's say, um, and this is my branch name. Okay, so we are in our new branch, and this is even not Angular 20. I think it should be Angular 19 if I'm not wrong, because NX is still not supporting Angular 20. But once the support is there, or I don't have to actually wait for the support. NX allows you to run the migration for any project. So let's see. A newer version of NX is available. Use the button below to start a guided migration UI. So where is this button? Let's probably run the migration first, and then we can start. Let's migrate. Okay, so start migration. So let's see what it does. And this is a new UI which is available from NX actually. So this start migration button was actually not available earlier in NX. Now it's available. And this you can see actually NX console which I have installed. So this is an extension which you need to install in case you're using NX console. You can see all the projects here, and you can also run the tasks, like for example, build, lint, everything from the console. So here you can see all the steps or all the commands which I can run for the front end, and this is the command which I can run for my backend. So right now it's trying to migrate. Let's see what it does. So it's migrating to NX 21.2 right now. Okay. I hope this install was done. So nice. And now as I'm streaming from different system, I'm not actually getting this weird voice when I'm even doing yarn install, because this is a different system. And so NX's advantages when using multiple libraries in single repo, but in case of big teams due to size, won't there be a lot of big issues due to single Git repo? No, it is not. I mean, it depends. You have to define the boundaries. So meanwhile, this migration is running, let me answer this question from Anil. So for example, in our case, we have big monorepo. I mean, it's like we have more than 250 projects now. It's growing. So we want to actually have more than 350 projects by the end of this financial year. Uh, and it's like we encourage developers to actually create the libraries. Whenever they want to create a new component, our recommendation is go ahead and create a library. And the different part of the code base is actually owned by different teams, so there is no conflict. So they and good thing about this is like splitting code to libraries, it also improves the collaboration. For example, there are cases where multiple teams needed same feature. So what they do is they split this code, move it to somewhere else, create another library, and start maintaining it rather than creating or innovating something from scratch, right? For their own purpose. So we have seen like amazing adoption, I would say, and people utilizing it in a good way, and seeing the value. The most important thing is our team and everyone within the team, they see the value what Angular lab, NX brings with like creating new libraries every time, especially caching, right? So we can we are enterprise, right? I mean, we have money, so we use larger machines to run our tasks. And even with mm, close to 4 million lines of code now, we run our CI pipeline for one PR within 15 minutes, because we can, like, we have so many different smaller libraries, so we can parallel run those in parallel and save a lot of time. Yeah, this is a good question. Doesn't it create Git issues like merge conflicts? No, it does not, because not everyone is working on the same task at the same time. So at the end, they have their own apps. So multiple teams own multiple apps, and in case there are cases where they want to actually change the same library, we coordinate with each other and then make the changes. So it doesn't often creates conflict. Of course, merge conflicts are something you cannot avoid. There are cases that it happens within the team as well, right? But with this approach, like with NX, even we haven't seen this case where uh, there are a lot of merge conflicts. I mean, to avoid this, to catch this merge conflicts early, we actually also use something known as merge queue. So it's a product from GitHub. So we use merge queue to merge multiple PRs in batches, basically. I'll talk about probably merge queue in one of the stream. That's a good feature or good product from GitHub. Not many people are aware of it, so I'll probably talk about it. Okay, so let's see what it is doing. NX is migrated to 21.1.2. Okay, fine. I'll just do npm install to migrate. And there are no, you also saw the message, it says there are no migrations to run. So it will just migrate the NX version to 21.1.2, but I can run the migration separately for Angular. So let's see if I can do that and migrate to Angular 20. Because NX allows you to run all the migrations related to other applications separately as well. They provide the inbuilt migration just in case. They probably will release their own migration for Angular as well. That's something which they do. But in case you don't want to wait for them, you can also run the Angular migration. So yeah, Anita, to answer your question, we don't get so many merge conflicts, even though we have a lot of different libraries. With NX, it's all fine. I mean, conflicts will happen in case it's not coordinated, right? So if you're not talking enough within the team, and there are code or the other issue which can happen is, let's say you have a very big library where lot of common logic is available, and you haven't thought about your libraries in a splitting in such a way that they don't need to change very often, right? With the other changes. So it's like a very isolated library where you're doing only one thing, right? And in those cases, it will never happen. The conflict scenario will be like very, very, very rare. And let's see. So we are on 21, and NX 21 actually launched something very interesting. I'm not sure like how many of you are aware of this, but there is something known as terminal UI, which is available. And we can see that by running one of the applications. So let's serve the front end application, and then we can see this. And I really like this npm run. Let's see. Yeah, npm run Linux. npm run Linux. It actually uses the terminal UI here. Oh, interesting. It's not. Why? Oh, it's not using terminal UI. Yes. Close 4000 is serving the app right now, and I thought like it will use the new terminal UI. But anyways, let's go ahead and create a library, and I can do that using either NX console. So I can just say, okay, let's go to command, and I can say, okay, just run generate. And what I need is a library. So NX Angular. So I'll just go ahead and use NX Angular. And we can define the directory where this project needs to be created. So there is something known as nested projects, which you can actually have in NX. Generally, for in Monorepo, like if you see the old NX projects, you will find some two folders called apps and libs. So libs is where you keep all the libraries, apps is where you keep all the libs related to your code base. But with NX 16 and above, NX came up with the idea of having this nested projects. What you mean by nested projects is you can keep your projects anywhere. So I can actually create a library inside this front end folder as well, but it will cause some issues. I mean, because I'll have more libraries here. So I have seen it cause like running tests and lint again, but I think this something, let's give it a try if that works perfectly fine, because as per nested project it should. So I can create a directory where the library is placed. So I can say, okay, let's do it in inside apps slash front end. So I'll create all the libraries inside this front end and libs. So all the new libraries will stay here. And I want this to be buildable. So, and should it have a routing? For now, let's do that. Yeah. And I don't want to publish it. Let's name the library. So I'll name this library based on my feature. So this will be event. Event. Let's call it as create event. So see, so this library will be created inside EMS frontend libs. And okay, so I want at one more level. So I'll say, okay, this libs should have another folder called event and create. So I can create multiple, right? So in case I want to create a library called list event, I can just go ahead and say, okay, create another folder called lib slash event slash list, and then all the list related code can stay there. Okay, cool. So this is what I needed, and it tells you like what are the files which will be updated, what are the files which will be created. So once you think, okay, this is the folder structure which we want, then we can go ahead and create this library. But let's see what else is here. Do we need at Tailwind, whether the configured for the application is buildable and publishable libraries, non-buildable libraries application. Non-buildable, okay. So I need this because I'm going to use buildable library. What else is there? So flat import path. Uh, Import path is something which you use with publishable libraries, so we don't need that. Linter is fine. I think this should have default ESLint. And parent, what is this parent? Path to the parent route configuration. Okay, I don't have anything right now. And let's generate. Okay, so we got a new libs folder and then create event folder basically. And it should go ahead and update tsconfig.base.json because this is something where it will add the path. So I can access this library whenever I want to by using this namespace. So I can say, hey, devswhorun / create event, and I can access all the components or service which I will create in this particular library. So, okay, so this is fine. We have now our library created. Now I can go ahead and add some code, but we can also run the build to make sure that this library works or it's getting built correctly. And there will be by default a route and one component which is already created here. So this is create event. And you can see we don't have any standalone flag because standalone is default now, and we don't need anything here. So we can start creating this new page for create event. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some dummy data and then explore like how the form should look like. I'm really bad with styling, so I'll probably explore Tailwind CSS and the styles, how they work with Angular forms basically. So let's go ahead and create my dummy data here only. So I'll say, okay, what, uh, and then I'll move this one other file, export interface, and I'll say this is event. And for events, what we need is we need the name. I think we have some Jira issue or sorry, GitHub issues created somewhere, but I don't remember it where. And then apart from name, what we need is banner. So this banner will be a string because what we are going to do is we will probably use the um, Playwright. So on Playwright, actually, you can upload files. Where is that? Yeah. So if I go back to the API, so you have storage and you can upload files here as well. So you can see here, you can create a new file and then you can get a file as well, get file for download. I don't want this to be downloaded, but I think this is the perfect API for our use case. And this is, I'm still not sure. Okay, platform. So this is where I can see if I want to use REST version. Yeah, and then I can say, okay, if I give the file ID, it will give me the file back. So probably, yeah, one of the APIs is good enough for us. And then maybe we can save this path somewhere in the database and then access it. So it will be string, and maybe we will reiterate and see. Yeah. And what else we need is Spartan NG. Yeah, good reminder. So uh, if yeah, I'll just open the web page. So my friend Robin actually created this website, and we had like multiple discussions whenever we met at the conferences when I was traveling and speaking at conferences, and he did an amazing job actually creating Spartan NG. This nice project, and now like he's also very busy with something else. But in case you need something like, I think this is very close to uh, the other Versil's some design system. So the here it is, right? I think it's there somewhere in the documentation. I'm not sure. Yeah. So this is some UI components which are available. You can directly use it even with analog, and I think even with SSR as well. Stack ChatCN. Yeah. So yeah. And so ShatCN. So it was inspired from ShatCN because there is nothing really close to ShatCN in Angular. So he created these components. And yeah, if you are interested, you can just go ahead and see, check out the repository, support it. And let's see, when was the last commit? It was 19 hours ago. So yeah, people are maintaining it. Nice. So I know I never used it, but I should have a look at what they have been doing so far. They also use NX, and I'm one of the supporter of this project actually. So if you see, I should be there somewhere in the name. Here. So I'm the supporter number 22. So I still sponsor this project because I love the work Robin is doing. Cool. But yeah, let's go back to our project. Okay, so we have name, we have banner, and the information which we needed is the user. So this should be user details actually, and maybe we'll see later like what information we need, because the idea behind creating an event was there will be an user who will already log in, and then we will save this information with the event. So we don't want like people to spam this website. So the idea is we will have this GitHub based authentication, so you can log in using GitHub authentication. We know that they are real developers, and then they can go ahead and create an event. And I'm talking about the any event, right? So you can decide like what kind of event you want to go for. So I'll say, okay, this is event type. Let's see right now for now, we'll say, okay, this is string. Maybe event type can be, like, let's say we want to go for running, we want to go for maybe some sports, or maybe something else, just for walk. And we need the conference, or I'm just wondering what should be the column name, because I can just do an event anywhere. So maybe I can just create something and say, okay, event details, but then it becomes event and event details. I can say, okay, this one, event location details. And this, for now, let's create an object. And I can say, okay, what we need is city. So let's say whichever city it is happening at. Do we need country? Yes, of course, because it can be any country. And then, of course, we can revise it. And then we can say, okay, this is event name, but event, there's already a name folder here. So okay, I can just have number of, and because we wanted to have one more column where we can say, okay, like you can come to this event, but only this number of people can come. So let's say, for example, we say, okay, only 10 people, right? So once 10 is done, no one else can register for it, because this you need to register. You need to say, okay, I'll be there to participate in this event. So you can say max attendees, and I'm not relying on AI because I want to test out my coding skill basically. Yeah, I haven't written a lot of code. I mean, yeah, I do write a lot of code, but I haven't written a lot of code on live stream, I think, since more than a year now. And once you code on live stream, it gives you a little bit of this boost that yeah, you are still a developer. And with all this AI advancement, people have started writing, like relying on, sorry, they have started relying on more on this AI stuff, and probably just want to see like if I can still code without getting help from AI. I used to love. I still love code Copilot. So wherever I want to maybe do some of HTML, but for logic, probably I'll just write it on my own. Okay, so max attendee, city, country, and what else? So we have name. The name can be anything. I can just create a name, or this can be the name of the actual event where people are going for. Okay, let's see. I'll just keep it this many fields for now, and then we can see what else we want to add later on. Okay, so this gives me some idea like what my form should look like, and then I can go back and create my form here. Not here. This is test. So I don't want to. Okay, and Control I. Now I can use Control create and HTML form. There is on. So I'll just use. And we don't have signal forms yet, so I'll just use the normal form based on event interface. And what else I need? Cloud 3.0 Sonnet. So meanwhile it is creating the form, I'll also create my dynamic form, reactive form, whatever. Let's do that. So say, okay, I need reactive forms module. And here I'll say, okay, this is event form is equals to form. So this type of form group. What's happening? There is am I doing something wrong? Mhm. Okay. Forms. I need form group. And what else I need is form builder. Form builder. Do I need an form array? I don't think so. And then I need form control. And yeah, people still talk a lot about which form to go for, and whether it is reactive form, template driven form. Choose whatever you like. There are there will be always this discussion, but I'll just go with reactive form because I love it. I feel more comfortable writing reactive forms. So it just created this 4 lines of code. Are you serious, Cloud? Okay, let's close it. I'll just create my own. Anyways, I'll just ask for the help on styling. So let's go. We'll create our form on init. Okay, so implements. Init. And I can say, okay, this is ng on init. And we can create a form. So we need access to form builder. So I'll say f equals to, I can use inject function. Yes, Sashi, I was just talking about you. So Sashi is in chat and he's helping me build this devswhorun. So I'm just creating a new library, Sashi, and adding this create event form. I remember like we discussed about this some of the fields, but I'm not sure like if it's the same. We may just reiterate and create another one. So I'll say, okay, this is form builder. And I'm trying my Angular coding skills. Hope I still have it. Okay, so I'll say event equals to new. this dot fp dot, where is my intelligence? Okay, let's stop this server. So are you back to India, Sashi? I remember like you mentioned you are going to Dubai, right? Okay, so fp.2 and so form. Okay, so this is right, and I can say name. Oh, you're still in Dubai. Nice. Form. Ah, you mentioned your. Oh, so it's already 6 June in Dubai, right? If I'm not wrong. So it's your anniversary, I think, right? So happy anniversary. Let's see if I have something here. Yeah. So hope yeah you have a nice party plan for tomorrow. Yeah. Form control of type any, and this is form group. Can I do this? I am I know that there are typed forms. I haven't tried this for some time. So this does work. And then what is this? It says it is declared on events. Okay. So so I sometimes remember dates. So what's this? So it says okay, form control of any is not assignable to string. Yeah, because I don't want to make it any anyways. And now what is this? If form control of type, do I need to say string explicitly to make it happen? Okay, so it says string and null is not assignable. Oh, so I have to make it, but I'm just saying string. So why it is taking null is not assignable to type string, form control of string or null. Let's see. This is one of the advantage of doing live streams or live coding. You know, you suck. So forms, typed forms. But good thing is I know what to search for. So let's see. So it says, okay, this is the untyped form and this is new form. And yeah, this is what I need, nullability. You might wonder why does the type of this control include null? Yep, this is because the control can become null at any time by calling reset. Okay, and then I can say non-nullable true by passing the values. Okay, this is nice. So I can say, okay, hey, don't give me this null values. So I can say non-nullable is true, and probably I don't get this issue. So form control of type string is not assignable to type string. So I can just remove this and use the shorthand syntax maybe. Let's see if that works. Now it says this one. Okay, let's remove. Type string array. Oh, this is interesting. So it says now it's type string. Okay, let me just go through this. So form control, form group. Yeah, this is what I want. So, okay, so I can say new form group. And yes, I need form builder. So ah, so there is non-nullable group. Okay, this is so FP rather than saying dot groups, I can say this dot FP dot non-nullable dot group. So and then here I can say this is string. What is this? Yeah, okay. I can pass banners. What else? So we have banners following from user detail and the event type. So I can say, okay, this is event type, which is again a string. And then user details, which I can say this is any, so I can probably say string. Event location details. So I can say, okay, this is city of this. Then country. So Sashi, I remember like we created a GitHub issue for this, right? If I'm not wrong. So what are the different fields which should exist? 0. Nice. So most of the errors are gone. Why this is complaining? It says cannot find name event form. Yes, because I missed this dot. Okay. So I created a typed form which doesn't accept null values. So thanks to Angular documentation for saving me. Okay, so my form is ready. Now what I need to do is I need to just create the form in HTML template, and then we should be set. So let's go ahead and do that. And you can say, okay, there goes form, and form group, right? Form group equals to my form. What is that event? Event form. And Sashi, are we going to use Angular material? If I hope not, right? Because we are using Tailwind CSS, so we can probably just use normal inputs and apply the styles. That's what we want to do. Because for forms generally I end up using Angular material, but I just leave it for now. Anyways, I'm just trying to figure out how this typed form works. Input, and I can say, okay, this is form control name, or form control is equals to name. And okay, so it says property name does not exist on create event name. What am I missing? Form control. So that should be form control name. Okay, nice. I'll leave that for now then, Sashi. Okay, so form control name, and I can just add some placeholder just to make sure I have something visible on UI, and I'll add a button to submit this. So add event. Okay, CDK, you mean Angular Material CDK? That's what we are CDK for timing. Okay, so I hope that's my Angular Material CDK. Okay, let's add some of the main more fields. So I have name, I have banner, event type. So I also created this project, Sashi, on playwright. sorry, not playwright, Appwrite. So I just created this project, devswhorun. The only problem is I I mean we cannot have like login for multiple users here because with free account we really cannot do that. But anyways, right, we can use this for production, and whenever you want to create anything, you can actually create your own instance because it's free. You don't have to pay anything anyways, so you can use your own instance whenever you're doing some development. Uh, and and type and just and then this is event. Let's see if this thing works with this many fields. And we can display these values just to make sure. Type was actually answering. I saw some chat, but yeah, Beth was asking like if I'm traveling to India anytime soon. No, but actually no plan this year. I'm actually planning to travel to maybe. So I have my summer vacation when coming up in July. So I'll be traveling to US, and then maybe no travel this year. Maybe if I can go to GitHub Universe probably, but I'm attending two events this month. This is June, right? Yeah, this is June. So I'm actually next week. So I'll be at JS Nation and React Summit in Amsterdam. Uh, JS Nation is where I actually Angular team Minko is speaking at. So I'm excited for his talk, and there are some amazing talks as well. And then React Summit, I'll meet some of my friends from React community, and then I'll be going to Google I/O in Berlin. So which is where like there are so many developers or many not Angular, but yeah, GDs will come and we'll meet. Hopefully, Sashi will join us next, maybe soon, and he deserves to be a GD sooner. Hope that happens soon. Okay, let's see. So we have lib. So this is create event component, and then this is the route, and we are exporting it from this component. So I can actually use this library in my project here, and let's do that in app.routes. And say this is slash event, slash no slash. I'll say okay, this is for event and load. Okay, so how it should be in case, oh, because this is not lazy loading, right? So I'm not doing lazy loading because there is already a route defined. So I can actually just call this or include this routes which we have defined here. What's that? Lib route, right? So I can just include this route into routes array, right? Because this how it should be. So I just need to create this as event. So I'll say, okay, this is event slash create. So this is the route, and so let's see. Note this. Then I just need to add the import. Cannot find by import from. Let me select devs run slash create event, and now it should be fine. Okay, update the import, and I can do this. Route array has no property in common with type. Okay, this is done. So we, if I try to access event slash create, I should get this component which we created right now, where there is a form, and we should get the data here. So let's see. I'll just run this service again. I was really looking forward to actually NX terminal UI. Somehow it's not visible or it's not available here. Maybe not a window thing so far. Style source map are not generated when source map side and listening port. Okay, cool. Let's see. And let's see our UI. It's this because this is the live one. I think we need to do a few more things before it works. We still don't have a router outlet, if I'm not wrong. Let's see if we placed one. We do have router outlet. So right now, app component.html, and then we are rendering the default route. Yeah. So Shashi did all this, so that's why I'm not aware of what's done so far. Let's close others. So build is done, and main.js 10 KB. Okay, so 4200 slash event slash create. So I should be getting my form, name, banner, event type, and there is some problem. Very ugly form, but converting because I made a mistake, right? So if you ever try to just do event form type JSON, you will always get an error. So I think I can do value, and let's see. And then it should be okay. It's compiling. Oh, it was supposed to be fast. Okay, so now we have this form. So name, banners, event type, user detail, event location detail. Yeah, so at least we have our form ready, and now we can just start rendering the form and complete this library, and then At the end, we will just include, like, make the API call and save this data into Appwrite. Okay, so enough for the day. So I think we are already 1 hour past, and I'll try to wrap up this form tomorrow. I'll continue with this tomorrow as well, because I want to just check, like, how much I know about Angular. You see, I'm already struggling with this strictly type forms because I haven't coded like in maybe years on live stream. So good practice for me as well, and to see like what I know. And I can also make it work, like devswhorun, which we want to build. And yeah, so I'll see you probably tomorrow. And meanwhile, have a good night, good afternoon, wherever you are. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. And thanks again for joining, Sashi, and have a great day. Enjoy your anniversary.